Good morning. Thank you very much for tuning in or whatever you call it when you do a webinar. So my name's Tom. I'm from Riviera Travel. So some of you may have met Shelley or Joseph in the past. I'm just here for the month, and obviously I'll be meeting, if any of you are attending the conference next week, I will also be there, so feel free to pop over and say hello as well. I'll probably be moaning about the heat like a typical Brit whilst I'm there. So today I'm talking to you about river cruising in Europe with ourselves, Riviera Travel. We're a company that is probably not overly known in Australia at the moment, but I'll tell you a few bits about us because I think river cruising is a sort of an area of the market which is certainly been growing over the last few years. So who are we really? We're actually the UK's largest escorted tours operator. Even though we're not selling them here, it's just worth bearing in mind because when you see our prices, you'll see they're a lot more competitive than everyone else in the five-star river cruise market, and it's simply because of the volume of people we take every single year. And we are the biggest river cruise line in the UK, so we outsell absolutely everyone in the UK. Biggest river cruise line over there. So I can guarantee you we're not a sort of tin pot company or anything like that. We're not operating out the back of the shed. We've been going for over 30 years now, and we've also won more awards in the UK than any other river cruise line, and that's really a testament to the quality and the value for money that customers are getting when they're with us. And what makes us different, really? I mean, river cruising, I always say river cruising is where ocean cruising was 20 years ago. And by that, I mean, if you've got a customer who wants to go on a family ocean cruise, they probably know in their head you're going to recommend them people like Royal Caribbean, NCL and things like that because it's for families. And again, in ocean cruising, if they want a 6-star ocean cruise, again, they probably know who you're roughly going to suggest to them. But when it comes to river cruising, we've all got our own USPs, and they can probably name you a few companies. They're probably over here, they'll name Scenic, APT, Uniworld, Viking, but the customers probably don't know the differences between them. And I think when you're picking a river cruise, it's like picking ocean cruise. You've really got to marry the product up to the customer. And we've got some great USPs ourselves. So one of them is we're the only British river cruise line out there that's 5-star. So especially if you've got customers, I'm sure you do have customers who maybe not necessarily want to travel with lots of Australians, and that's sort of what they've got with APT and Scenic. Then we're a great option for them because we are 95% British customers on board. We do some other things a little bit differently as well. With our river cruising, you're still going to get the fantastic guided excursions included. You're still going to get the great tours, the great food included. But we don't include the gimmicky all-inclusives, and by that what I mean is we don't include the all-inclusive drinks packages. Because if you've got customers going all the way to Europe, do you want them to just sit on the ship? Because I always regard the ships on river cruising as nothing more than your hotel. It's not like ocean cruising where it's the entertainment and it's the be-all and end-all. River cruising is about your destination, and the ship is just a way of moving you about in comfort. So we don't include the all-inclusive drinks because if your customers are sat in, if you're in Vienna, do you want to sit on the ship looking at Vienna, or do you want to go and wander off into one of the fantastic cafes and bars and have a drink there and have an explore in the evening? That's how what we always think of it as well. And the all-inclusive drinks, in my mind, they never really include the good stuff as well. It's always generally the cheaper drinks that are available, and you still have to pay for the premium ones. And it's normally a very high percentage of what you're paying is for drinks. And I'll be honest, our river cruise market is the 60-65 plus market. And a lot of our customers don't drink that much, which I know seems alien to quite a lot of travel agents, but a lot of our customers do, they don't drink too much, and they want to go out and explore. So that's why we don't include drinks in the packages. If you do have customers who say, well, we want a glass of wine with dinner or want a beer on the cruise or anything like that, then they don't have to worry. Again, it's not like ocean cruising where we've got you trapped at sea for 3 days and you've got no option to go and explore anywhere else. So a bottle of good wine on our ships is between $20 and $25. A bottle of beer is about $6 Australian. All this, gin and tonic, a rum and coke, that sort of thing. Again, it's just $6. So, prices are very reasonable on board, and we have no issues whatsoever. Again, with customers buying a bottle of wine or buying a local bottle of beer and bringing it onto the ship and drinking it in their cabin. That's not an issue either at all. We do have tea and coffee making facilities in all our cabins, and we are actually the only river cruise line to have tea and coffee making facilities in the cabins. So with everyone else, if you want a cup of coffee first thing in the morning, you've got to walk down in your dressing gown down the corridor to the lounge and pour yourself a cup of coffee. Whereas with us, you can just sit in your cabin, watch the views go by, pour yourself a cup of coffee whilst you're getting yourself ready, and then sort of head out for the start of the day. So it's a much more relaxing way to do it. We also have more repeat bookers than anyone else in the UK, and again, that's just testament to the quality and the price for, value for money we're offering. People, they enjoy the product, and so they keep coming back. So that's a great thing from your point of view. You're going to get repeat business from us once you get that first person on there. And another great thing about us as well is we never discount our product. We always believe everyone should pay the same for the same holiday in the same cabin type. I don't know what it is about people when they go on holiday. I would never sit there and ask you what you earn, but you're always going to get some smug person sat there who's paid $500 less than everyone else, asking everyone what they paid for the cruise. You don't have to worry about that with us. The price, once it's set, is the price. And again, we don't fluctuate the price based on currency or anything like that. Once we set the price in Australian dollars, that's it, that's done. So if your customer has a couple of days thinking about it, whether they want to go ahead or not, you don't have to worry that they're going to come back and have to pay an extra $300-400 on top of what you originally quoted them. So I think that's another fantastic point about us as well. So they're just some of the things that make us certainly unique in the river cruise market compared to some of our competitors. With our choice of itineraries, we do the fairly standard itineraries that a lot of other companies do. I'll be honest there, most of us do a Danube cruise, Rhine cruises and that sort of thing. What you will notice on there is we offer a 4-night cruise, Amsterdam, Volendam, the Dutch Bull Fields. We have also actually just very recently added another 4-night cruise, which is Cologne to Frankfurt and back to Cologne for Christmas markets. So we've got 8 sailings in December for that. And we also offer a 2-week itinerary, Cruise the Heart of Europe. So that is Cologne to Budapest or Budapest to Cologne, whichever way you look at it. Now, I suppose I can see what you're thinking. A lot of people out there offer Budapest to Amsterdam. Why do you finish in Cologne? Well, the reason we finish in Cologne is because between Cologne and Amsterdam, it is 2 solid full days of sailing, and unless your customers are very into factories and warehouses, that is all they're going to see on those 2 days of sailing. It's a very industrial part of the river, and if any of you have ever done that part of it, I'm sure you will agree with me. What we're offering is exactly the same length of itinerary, but without that 2 days of extra sailing. So that gives you an idea of how much more free time we offer the customers. And that's what we think is really important. How many times as in travel, or I can certainly reel off a list of places that we go to, but we don't really go to, if that makes sense. I remember the first time I went to Cologne was with work, and I literally got off the at the airport, into a taxi, I went straight to the ship, I did a tour of the ship, I got straight back in a taxi, and I flew back. Now, I know it's a little bit different because I'm from the UK, so flying to Cologne's only 2 hours for me, but so my first experience was technically I could say I've been to Cologne, but I hadn't really been to Cologne. So what we try and do is we give your customers a lot more free time in these destinations. So they do their guided excursion, but then they've got the afternoon and the evening free to actually wander about, take in the local culture and just absorb it. So when they come home, they can actually say they've been to these destinations. And that's what we really think is the most important thing on the cruise, and that's really the highlight of the cruise, is the destination that you're going to. I'll just skip through some of these. These are just some of the images of just a few of the ships we've got from the outside. 4 of our ships are launching this year. We've got 4 ships that have launched in the last 4 years, and we've got 4 ships that have been refurbished within the last 5 years. So your customers are going to go on a nice modern fleet. We do decor every ship slightly differently, so they don't feel like they've been on all of them. And the other thing about us is we really try and emphasise the Britishness of the company in the names of the ships. So we've got the Jane Austen, the Lord Byron. This year we're launching the Emily Bronte and the Thomas Hardy. So if your customers do come back and say they didn't realise it was a British product, then they've really missed a trick on that one, so to speak. On the ships, we've got absolutely fantastic dining as well. What we do for dining is we offer open seating. So if your customers meet another couple, they get talking to them on an excursion. They can choose to sit next to them for dinner, and then if they get really bored, he's one of these people that just talks about himself all the time, then they can choose to sit elsewhere for the rest of the cruise. Dining is for breakfast and lunch, it's buffet style, but you can choose to have breakfast in your cabin if you wish. And we have a fresh omelette station, the usual you expect on all the other five-star river cruise lines. And then in the evening, it's a la carte sit down. You've got a selection of options for your dinner. Basically something local and something a little bit more international. And the other great thing about dining on board us is we don't have a dress code either. I think it's a bit of a fallacy that Brits like to dress up for dinner time. So a polo shirt or a t-shirt and chinos or tailored shorts is more than acceptable, or a short sleeve shirt. That's generally what most of our customers wear when they're on board. We do have 2 nights which your customers can choose to dress up if they want. That's the Captain's Gala dinner and the Welcome dinner. But again, I completely appreciate your customers are not necessarily going to travel with a suit in their bag for a full 4 weeks just for 2 nights. So again, if they just want to take some casual wear, then they can do. That's perfectly acceptable. They're never going to get turned away for that sort of thing. They can even get away wearing smart jeans as well on the ship. And then at the back of the five-star ships, we've also got the chef signature restaurant as well. And this is absolutely fantastic for customers who want something a little bit more intimate that night. It only serves 20 covers per evening. You do have to book this, but you don't have to pay any extra for it. It is included in the price. It's a set menu based on local and seasonal produce as well. And the great thing about that is, you can just go in, you have some dinner, it's just tables for 2, so it's a little bit more intimate. So you've got customers who want to celebrate a birthday or an anniversary or that sort of thing, then again, this is a great option for them. What I'd recommend is booking, as soon as they get on the ship, just to guarantee the night they want to have it as well. As well as the restaurant and the Lido bar, we also have some fantastic places for them to sit. We've got the lounge and the bar area, because I'll be honest, the weather in Europe can be a little bit more unpredictable than what you've got over here. So these are great places to sit. You can read your book. If you want to buy a drink, you can do. Just sit and watch the world go by, talk to your fellow passengers. Because the great thing about the customers on board is they're all there because they're interested in the destination. So your customers are going to have a lot in common with other people, and you can have a good laugh with them. It's the reason we're selling in Australia as the first market outside of the UK, because we feel culturally we're very similar. So you can have a good laugh with them. I suppose it depends on how the Ashes or the rugby's gone that year, depending on sort of who's having more of a laugh. But it's a great way to travel, I think, as well. And then we've got the different types of cabins, and I always think I think cabin choice is probably the least important thing of a river cruise, in my opinion, which I know sounds a bit silly, but I always think the river cruise line and your destination are the most important factors. Like I said earlier, the ship is really the least important fact. So on the lower deck, we have the fixed windows. On river cruising, there's no such thing as an inside balcony. It's inside cabin, sorry. So you're always going to get a window. What I would say is you need to probably be about 5'4" or so to be able to see out comfortably without standing on tiptoes. But these are fully air-conditioned and climate-controlled rooms. They are designed for double use, and we also have 6 per sailing with no single supplement on throughout the whole year on every sailing, which I think is a fantastic offer. The only thing I would say about those is the no single supplement cabins do sell very quickly. So again, certainly if you've got customers who'd be interested in that, I recommend booking sooner than later. And 2018 will be going on sale in March, just to make you aware. And again, these are the best value cabins. If you've got customers who don't want to spend much time in the cabin, these are a great proposition for them. And then we've got the French balconies on the middle and the upper deck as well. So the whole window slides flat against the side of the ship, turning your whole cabin into a balcony, so you can let some fresh air in, which again is a lovely option for your customers. All our bathrooms are proper, modern, spacious bathrooms, glass and marble throughout. It's not like ocean cruising where you've got that sort of weird plasticky glass, because we don't have any motion on the ships. There's no rough seas or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about things breaking. So it's a nice bathroom with a proper power shower. And also we have suites as well available for people. So we've got superior suites, which are slightly bigger, give your customers a little bit more space. But remember, you can still get a superior suite for the same price you're paying for a lower deck with a lot of the 5-star operators out there. So you're not going to be paying any more, compared to what you'd be paying with them. And then we also have the deluxe suites, which again offer you more space. What I always say, with the money you're saving with ourselves, it gives you a great option for your customers. You know, they're going to Europe probably as a 3-4 week trip, and if you're saving them several $1,000s on their cabin, they could both go for the middle deck with us or with someone else. But with us, they can have that money to spend elsewhere. And if you could offer them a Northern Lights trip to Iceland, or you could offer them a week in the UK if they like being cold, or they could spend some time in Amsterdam, or they could go to Spain. These are all great things they could offer extra to really enhance their trip. Or, let's be honest, the plane journey is not exactly the most exciting element over there. With the money saved, you could easily upgrade them to business class and still have money in their back pocket. That's certainly an option I would take personally, but everyone to their own. So we've also got the deluxe suites. The reason we don't have sit-out balconies on our standard cabins, we only have them on the deluxe balcony cabins on the new ships, is because I'll show you in a minute with some overheads of the new cabins. On a river ship, you can't build out, you have to build inwards because you've got the locks to navigate. So if you were to bolt a balcony to your cabin, you don't actually gain a couple of meters, you actually lose quite considerable space. So and it's really noticeable on a standard cabin, so we'd rather have the French balcony, which gives you usable space for 100% of your cruise. Because on a river cruise, the only downside of river cruising is occasionally, and this is the same for every company regardless of who they are, you'll get a moment where you're moored up. So you've got the shore, and then you've got one, you might have an APT ship, a Riviera ship, and a scenic ship. And if you're on the balcony cabins looking inside to another ship, you don't really want to sit there just looking into another ship, so you're not going to use it. You probably only use the balcony for 5% of your cruise, if that. So we're offering you the French balcony, something that's usable for 100% of your cruise, and then you turn it into a balcony when you wish. We have a sauna steam room on board, and we also have a small gym. And again, these are all free of charge for your customers to use. And we also have an onboard beauty salon. This is the only thing apart from drinks they would have to pay more for. But to be honest, who doesn't have a holiday haircut before they go? But if you've got customers who are celebrating an anniversary or something and do want to have a bit of a haircut before their dinner or something, they can choose to do it. And then we've got the new ships for 2017. So these are absolutely stunning. This is a standard cabin, which I think is decorated fantastically. Again, remember, these are 5-star ships. Just the price isn't 5-star, but the actual quality is. You've still got a tour manager and a cruise director with you. You've still got the Bluetooth headpieces for when you're doing the guided tour, so you can hear your local guide speaking to you. And this is a deluxe balcony sit-out one as well. So as you can see, you've got a small sit-out area as well as a great space for the rest of your cruise. So you can see from the overheads, this is the overhead plan of the cabin. And when I was saying about the sit-out balconies, as you can see at the bottom where the table and chairs are, that's how much space you would lose if you had a sit-out balcony on a standard cabin, and that really does diminish the amount of space you have when you're there. Superior Suite, again, it's a bigger cabin, but we still think it would take up too much space. So we only offer the sit-out balconies here, where you've got a much bigger cabin. You're talking about nearly 26 square meters, so you can afford to lose a little bit of space there. This is just a short video that's going to play in 2 seconds. There we go. So we've got a short video here. It's just about 3-4 minutes. It's the Jane Austen sailing the Blue Danube. So hopefully this will give you a real good idea of the quality and what your customers would expect on a river cruise. hopefully that gives you a good idea of what to expect on one of our river cruises. You know, it's a lovely way to travel. It's a really relaxing way to go. What I would certainly say is, you know, if you've got customers over in Europe and they're sort of sick of packing and unpacking, 'cause let's be honest, when you're traveling to loads of different places, that is always the worst bit. Just gives them a great option of another way to sort of travel a bit more relaxingly and see a few different places and things like that. Just a few things for 2018. Hopefully the new brochure should be out hopefully by April, the start of April, but it'll be available from the middle of March to book. We've got another new ship launching, the Robert Burns, so any Scottish expats out there, you can probably sell to them quite easily. And we've also got a new 15-day itinerary starting, which is going to be Budapest down to Bucharest. So that's thing a little bit different. Not many people offer that, so that's certainly a new one if people have done the traditional sort of Cologne, Amsterdam to Budapest, then this gives them something different to look at. Just a few little things about ourselves. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, we never discount, so the great thing about that is you can secure those early bookings by, in all honesty, telling your customers you will never see it cheaper at a later date. And we'll hold an option out for you for up to 5 days, but I'll be honest, because of you being in Australia, we'll actually hold it for a little bit longer to give you a little bit more time. And product clips like the one I've just shown you are available on our website so you can just pop them there and look at all our ships on the website, rivieratravel.com.au. Just a few little bits and pieces, and then this is just the team. I don't know where they got the photo of me from. It's pretty horrific, but Joseph Grimley, so both me and him, we're at the conference next week, and like I said, please come and say hello. We'd love to talk to you and answer any questions you've got when you're there. Joseph will be doing a discussion, and I'll be doing a seminar whilst we're there, as well as having the trade stand, so that's great. Darren is assistant sales manager, so he basically is in the office mainly, and he can help you with inquiries. Nicola supports us as well, so again, she's probably someone you might come in contact with. And Shelley is the main contact for Australia. Just unfortunately, she's not well enough to travel this trip, but hopefully she'll see you all very soon. But yes, thank you very much for your time today. It's been great speaking to you. And again, I really hope I get to meet some of you at the conference next week. I'm really looking forward to it, and I really hope Adelaide is not 43 degrees when I get there. Otherwise, you'll have a Brit moaning about the weather the whole time. But other than that, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.